Welcome to Bloodbath and Beyond. Today we review Killer Pinata. It's filled with sweet, sweet revenge.
Directed by Stephen Tramontana, starring Eliza Jane Morris, Nate Bryan, Lindsay Ashcroft, and Billy Chengary, Killer Pinata is about exactly what you think Killer Pinata is about. A pinata sees fellow pinatas being hung up and beaten with a stick to death, and he's seeking revenge on his friends. So what do we like? Now to kick this off, this was a crowd-funded film. It's very, very low budget. It's a micro budget of $3,000, and it was surprisingly done well. The way that they framed their shots was excellent considering you have a killer pinata. They were able to portray emotion through not only the music and the shot types, but just the different angles and the way that people interacted with this pinata. Like, you knew exactly how it felt in every situation.
I thought they did a great job just like maneuvering this pinata, because you have that moment where you see it and you're like, oh, they're just gonna be a person grabbing from behind and shaking it as it moves. No, they like cut a hole and had the head rotate and everything. They did a great job with this pinata.
This is a Killer Pinata movie, and it was fucking funny.
She's being all shy. Take your dick out and put it in her hands. In this world, you're either Uncle Jesse or Uncle Joey. Uncle Jesse puts it in her hands.
The wit is there. Like, they have these like one-liners that if you miss them, then you're screwed, because honestly, they were some of the classic and hilarious, subtle, under your breath comments. And it's not just the story and the humor. I enjoyed all of our characters. Even Martin. He looks funny, he looks innocent, and you feel for him.
Yeah, I definitely have to give it up to the cast. They all did a great job, especially considering what they were doing. It's a very wacky movie, but they did their job well. I did find it a little weird that like our slut wasn't dressed like a slut. Like, she just kept talking about how hungry she was for cock. And you know, when the fucking Drake guy walks in and just, you can see those views. He's like, damn girl, I need to get up in that. And he drops some hilarious lines himself. Everybody was really, really good in this movie. It's worth pointing out that there are not a ton of kills in this movie, but we do see a couple really great on-screen effects that I'm not gonna spoil for you, but you see blood gushing out of places you don't wanna see it gushing out of. Now let's talk about what we didn't like.
Now, we touched on the humor, and I felt this film was really funny. There were a few moments that I thought weren't as funny. Like, it seemed more like an inside joke, or it just didn't hit its mark.
And some of that had to do with how long the final confrontation with the Killer Pinata was. The last half an hour of this film are just two characters trying to fight this pinata. It just kind of got tiring. You're just like, come on, okay, let's go. We understand these guys are gonna be badasses. They need to get in the house and kill a pinata. So let's just get there. Let's just fucking stop what you're doing. Either fuck or don't, and get in the house. And that kind of leads me to another kind of dislike. I mean, it's not a big deal, but it is just a pinata. Just step on it. You don't need to make weapons. You don't need to do a lot of shit to kill a pinata. I mean, I've seen 6-year-olds kill pinatas.
Another nitpicky issue here is the audio. I thought some of the ADR was a little off, and you can really tell which ones were recorded in post and which ones were like done live.
I mean, this is a low budget film, so we went into this knowing that the technical aspects aren't gonna be all that great. So it's worth pointing out, though we're not docking any marks for it, the audio was hot at times, so like they definitely clipped their audio. A lot of the camera work was a little bit shaky despite having good camera angles. And in general, I think it could have done with some like better color grading or more saturation, because unfortunately it is a little more dull. And some of the nighttime shots, you can't really see what's happening. You can't fault them. They had a $3,000 budget, so it is what it is. But it's something to consider while watching this film. Now it's time for our final thoughts and ratings. Killer Pinata was actually a really fun time. It's certainly a micro-budget movie, so not everybody's gonna love it because of the production values, but I found it pretty funny, and the whole concept is absolutely hilarious. All of the actors did a great job, and the way that they shot the pinata and portrayed emotions for this stupid little puppet, I thought was absolutely hilarious and great. I think it could have used some more practical effects for the kills. So maybe a bigger party where there were more people getting killed, that would have been cool. But I understand because of the budget limitations. If you like a shot on video stuff, if you like indie horror, you're probably gonna like this. So I'm gonna give this 3 pin in the tail on that ass out of 5.
Killer Pinata is a very fun movie. It's something that you could just sit down and watch and laugh at. It was shot well, the characters were enjoyable. The only faults I have with it is the story and its pacing. And I feel if they would have tightened up a lot of the scenes, it would have been more impactful, especially with the humor, because when it drags out, it gets kind of boring. But it's still a great film, and it's really fun to watch. And come on, a piñata that kills, that's pretty hilarious. So with that being said, I'm gonna give this 3 I Know What You Did Last Summer, Spanish edition, out of 5.
As always, thank you for watching. Like this video and comment below with your thoughts on the film if you have happened to see this. If not, there are links in the description. You can check it out on Amazon. And if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel, stay updated with everything Bloodbath and beyond.